Welcome, friends. Today, we're diving deep into a topic we all struggle with at some point, our emotions. We've all been there, trying to stay calm when life throws curveballs. But it's easier said than done, right? So how do we actually control our emotions? Let me break it down for you in 5 bold, maybe even controversial ways to take charge of those wild feelings. 1. Embrace the power of emotional alchemy. You ever heard of turning lead into gold? Well, what if you could turn anger into fuel or sadness into clarity? It's possible. Emotional alchemy is all about flipping the script on your feelings. Instead of resisting emotions, transmute them. The next time someone cuts you off in traffic and you feel that surge of anger, don't fight it. Channel that fire into something productive. I remember when I first started speaking publicly. My nerves used to get the better of me, and I'd feel this overwhelming anxiety. Instead of letting it shut me down, I started to use that anxiety, turning it into energy on stage. I started delivering my best talks because I learned how to flip the script. Try it, and you'll see. Anger becomes power, and fear becomes focus. Second stop, coping. Start mastering your mindset. Controversial point, but coping mechanisms, overrated. Don't just cope, dominate. Meditation, breathing exercises, sure, they help in the moment, but let's not confuse calming ourselves temporarily with real mastery. True control is in conditioning your mindset. Back in college, when things got stressful, everyone told me, just meditate, breathe, take a walk. But that felt like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. I dug deeper. I started challenging the roots of my stress, rewiring my responses instead of masking them. And honestly, that changed everything. Now when chaos comes, I face it head on instead of just soothing myself. 3. Set emotional boundaries, not with others, but with yourself. We always talk about setting boundaries with other people, right? What about boundaries for our own emotions? You don't need to entertain every feeling that pops up. You control which emotions get space in your mind, like a bouncer at the door of an exclusive club. Personal example. For me, I used to dwell on everything. Someone said something mean. I'd think about it for days. I was a terrible bouncer for my emotions. Now, if an unhelpful thought or feeling tries to crash the party, I ask myself, does this deserve my time? And most of the time, it doesn't. 4. Stop labeling emotions as good or bad. Here's where I'll get controversial. Stop labeling emotions. This whole idea of good and bad feelings, it's outdated. Every emotion has a purpose, even the ones that make you uncomfortable. Labeling emotions creates resistance, and what you resist persists. Growing up, I'd always hear people say, don't be sad, don't be angry. But those emotions taught me so much. Instead of avoiding them, I leaned in. When I let myself feel sadness, I found clarity. When I allowed myself anger, I discovered passion. Life got easier when I stopped trying to divide my emotions into good and bad boxes. 5. Take radical responsibility for how you feel. Okay, here's the kicker. No one makes you feel anything. This is the most freeing but also most controversial idea. Your emotions are your responsibility. Stop blaming the circumstances or the people around you. As hard as it is to admit, you are in control of how you interpret and react to everything. I used to blame everything and everyone for my emotions. Bad day at work? It was my boss's fault. Argument with a friend? Clearly their fault. But then I realized that nothing made me feel anything. I was choosing to react that way. Once I took ownership, I became emotionally unstoppable. There you have it. 5 bold, maybe controversial ways to control your emotions. Alchemize them. Stop coping, set boundaries, lose the labels, and take radical responsibility. Now, these aren't fluffy ideas you'll hear on a feel-good podcast. This is about truly taking control of your mind and emotions like the powerful being you are. If you're ready to challenge your emotional habits, start today, and remember, you control your emotions. They don't control you. Thanks for tuning in, and if this resonated with you, share your thoughts below. Let's start a conversation because emotion mastery is not for the faint of heart. Stay strong, stay grounded, and stay in control.